Welcome to Beyond Sunday, where we take the conversation a step further to grow in our love and understanding of Jesus.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Beyond Sunday. I'm Steve.
And I'm Sarah.
And we have an amazingly special guest here with us today. One of my best buddies in the whole wide world, Pastor Jeremy Gardner. I meant that sincerely.
I know. Well, thank you, Steve and Sarah. I'm excited to be here.
You should be. You should be honored.
I am. Very, very honored. Very honored.
Jeremy's already experienced us trying to just get an introduction out of the way. And it was, colossal failure and then success.
Super professional.
This might be our third attempt at an intro, but it's okay.
It could be our 100th for all the listener knows. They're not in this room with us today. But no, seriously. Jeremy is one of my closest friends, and I'm so glad to have him here with us today to talk to our students. I mean, Jeremy, you've been with the students several times on Sunday mornings as your schedule allows it.
Sure.
So they know you a little bit as our worship pastor. So we wanted to do a little bit of an icebreaker with you, just to get you comfortable in the podcast realm.
Sure.
And so we do this game that's called Take One Away. You ever played Take One Away? It's like you get 4 options.
Okay.
And you have to just take one of those things away, but it has to go away forever.
Okay.
Some call it one has to go. You have to remove one thing. You can no longer have it ever again.
So. Okay.
Now, one of the things you might not know about Jeremy and his family, or maybe you know this very, very well about Jeremy, depending on how well you know the Gardner clan. Jeremy and his family are massive fans of Disney World.
Yes. It's true.
That's it's an annual, near annual.
Sure.
Trip that you guys do. So we got a game of Take One Away, or what'd you call it? One has to go. We have a game of One Has to Go.
Okay.
That is Disney World themed. Because Sarah and I have been there before. I'm a fan. I used to be a bigger fan of the parks. I can't do crowds anymore. Man.
Sure.
I went to Dollywood not long ago, and I about died.
And it wasn't even that bad. It was not like Disney level as far as crowds go. We're just entering our middle-age era where we don't want to be around crowds, I think is the problem with us. But anyway, you love Disney, so
yes.
Yeah, and I don't love the crowds, but it's, I don't know. It's worth it.
Evil?
It's worth it, yeah.
I mean, not evil in the sense that, never mind, let's not even try to justify that. All right, Jeremy, here we go. One has to go. The first round is called Magic Kingdom Classics.
Okay.
Okay. Here's your 4 options. Space Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, or Big Thunder Railroad. One of those has to go for eternity. Which one's it going to be?
I'd probably get rid of Haunted Mansion. My kids have never been a huge fan of that, so to be honest with you, we don't even always go on it every time we go to Disney.
Okay.
So we love the other 3 rides. I would absolutely, for sure. This one's an easy one for me. I would get rid of Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. Off the list.
Wow.
I enjoy it, but it's something that like I said, because my kids haven't, it's not something that we do all the time. And so for me, it's almost gone anyway. So, yeah.
So what about you, Sarah?
I don't even know that I've been on all those rides. So I probably don't have that strong of an opinion on this one. I feel like you probably have a stronger opinion on the
I always have a strong opinion. I am known exclusively for my strong opinions. So which one would you get rid of, though?
Me? I don't even know if I've been on Space Mountain before. Or what was the 4th one?
Big Thunder Mountain.
No, I don't know if I've been
Big
on
Thunder Mountain is the train. It looks like the train's going through the mountain.
No.
You've never been on that one?
We haven't been on it together, right? So if I was on it, I was 7 or 8, and I don't remember.
We didn't go on our honeymoon?
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe not. Okay, so of those 4, this is hard for me. So I love all 4 of these rides. Here's the thing. Pirates of the Caribbean, everybody knows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my all-time favorite ride.
Okay.
I will go on Pirates. I love the smell of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, it is cool.
Right?
It is cool.
I don't know. It's like the chlorine in the water.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I love that ride.
Yeah.
Everything about it I love. Haunted Mansion is honestly one of my favorite rides of all time. I have a hard time, and I don't know if it should be. I don't know if that makes me a weird person.
Is it like the nostalgia of
I think it is a little bit of the nostalgia. I've always just liked that ride.
Sure.
But maybe I do have happy memories. The most morbid ride at Disney World. I would probably, honestly, of those 4, I would probably get rid of Big Thunder Mountain. Like, of those 4. Just because Space Mountain, I have really special memories of riding that ride. It was the first roller coaster we ever got my dad on.
Okay.
And we have a video. I don't even know if we can find this video of him like screaming the whole time on Space Mountain, going,
Nice.
"Whoa, whoa!" the whole time. It was
That's awesome.
amazing. So anyway, I would say Big Thunder Mountain has to go. But I love Big Thunder Mountain. I think Big Thunder Mountain's a great ride. It's a kind of a slow roller coaster
Yeah.
because of how long that train is.
Sure.
I feel like it doesn't go very fast. Okay, Jeremy, round 2.
All right.
We'll do 3 rounds.
Sure.
That way we don't blow too much time on this. All right, 3 iconic Disney snacks. Are you guys snackers when you're at the park?
Yeah, we like to try different stuff. Every time we go, we try to do something new, and usually it ends up being food because we've ridden all the rides and everything.
Sure.
So it's usually something food related that's new for us each trip. But
Have you tried anything recently that you're like that's new and you're like, man, this is really, really good? We've never had it before.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. If I had been given this ahead of time, maybe I could have come up with something.
Oh, Jeremy, I'm glad you can't have conversations on them. Anyway, love you, buddy. Here we go. Round 2. Come on, my show. I told you, there's going to be some surprises.
Sure.
There won't be too much. All right, round 2. Round 2. Iconic Disney snacks. Okay, so here they go. 1, Dole Whip. 2, the Mickey Premium Ice Cream Bar, like the classic tipped ice cream bar. 3, Churro. 4, popcorn in a collectible bucket. You guys collect buckets? That's hard to get back home.
We have a couple of the Christmas ones, just that we keep as like Christmas decorations. As far as like the special ones, we get a lot of times when we go, we'll get the cheaper reusable buckets just because it's way cheaper to get popcorn refills than it is to buy boxes every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have a few of the collectible ones as well, the Christmas ones. If I was going to get rid of anything from that list, I mean, we get all of those probably every time that we're there.
Yeah.
So it's not. This was a little bit tougher than the last one. Probably Dole Whip because I don't. No, hold on. Because I just don't love pineapple all that much. So I like when they do it with the other flavors. That would be a tougher thing for me to get rid of. But if it's just like the standard classic one, I just don't love pineapple all that much.
I think it's fair. I like the Dole Whip with the vanilla.
Yeah.
Like the twist.
Yeah.
More than just the Dole Whip by itself. What about you, hon?
Yeah, I'm getting rid of that Mickey ice cream bar.
Yeah.
Because you bite into it and the chocolate kind of falls apart and then it's a mess. And so I love the Dole Whip. Yeah, churros, popcorn, like you smell it and you have to have it.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, the Mickey ice cream bar goes for me.
I would. What's missing from this list of iconic ones is the Mickey pretzel. That's like I love the Mickey pretzel.
Yeah.
That's like what I'm talking about, the big soft pretzel that's shaped like Mickey.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like that's more iconic than the popcorn.
I like
even though the popcorn buckets are a big deal.
The pretzels from the Germany Pavilion and Epcot. Those are like my favorite ones. They're like enormous, but
the like classic Bavarian.
Yep.
Yes.
So good.
I 100% agree. I like eating around the world.
Yeah, we try to. Jody and I try to do that. The kids, well, Grace, I guess likes a lot of stuff. Some of my kids are a little bit less adventurous with eating, so they don't necessarily want to do that. But Jody and I try to do that every time we go.
Yeah. I feel like that's honestly, if we were just to go
to
Disney, I don't even know if I would go to any of the other parks other than Epcot. Epcot is my absolute favorite park.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Just eat all day long.
All right.
Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah.
One last one. I'll give you some options. I'll tell you what they're called.
Sure.
And then you can go from there. So these are your last option. So Hollywood Studio Favorites, Animal Kingdom Adventures, Transportation sounds so boring.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Let's not do that.
We're not going to do that one. Yeah.
Themed Lands, or Nighttime Spectaculars.
Oh man, that's tough. Now you're making me make an extra choice. I think we'll go with nighttime spectaculars.
Okay,
Why don't we try
I
that?
think that's a good one. So every night ends with something special at one of the parks.
Yeah.
Is this a Disney podcast? I think we just became a Disney
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. Sorry, that's probably my fault. That's probably my fault.
It's all right. People are getting to know you.
Yeah.
Know what you're passionate about. Here we go. Okay, so nighttime spectaculars. So the first one is Happily Ever After. Is that the current one?
Yeah, they're back to Happily Ever After.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So Happily Ever After at the Magic Kingdom. Fantasmic at Hollywood Studios. It says Epcot's Luminous. I thought they did something else now.
I don't remember what the current show is. They've changed the Epcot show
They
like a
change it
few
all the time.
times, and so I don't remember what the current one is because I thought Luminous was the one with the screens that they had to get rid of because people hated them sitting in the middle.
Maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Like when we went a couple years ago, like the big family outing to Disney World, like with everybody. We stayed for the Epcot show, but I can't remember what it was called. It was like
Yeah, I don't remember.
something about like all over the world. I have no idea. That's not the name of it. Anyway, all right. So Happily Ever After, Fantasmic, Luminous, and the Tree of Life Awakenings. I didn't even know there was. I'm not an Animal Kingdom. If we had to pick one of the places to go at Disney World, Animal Kingdom would be like throw it away.
I don't know. It's tough to just throw the whole parkway though because Flight of Passage is there. It's like one of the coolest things.
I hate Avatar.
But that ride is so cool though. You're missing out. You're missing out.
I would like to try the ride.
I
someday.
always
It
wanted to
looks
read the
very cool.
book. And then I found out there's no book.
Nice. This was the danger of having me on this podcast is that this is what it's going to devolve into. Yeah. No, as far as the nighttime stuff, the Tree of Life thing is probably the most underwhelming as far as but like I like the Christmas. They'll do like different stuff for Christmas kind of. So it's kind of cool. I mean, that's probably the one I would get rid of though, because it's not really it's not like a full show like the other ones are. It's just kind of like some projection stuff that they show every few minutes.
Sure.
It's a little bit underwhelming, but
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, there's like the other Fantasmic and Happily Ever After are amazing. So but they're, yeah.
I don't disagree. Did you have any?
No, yeah, I think Magic Kingdom is going to be always like the number one show.
It is hard. I think if any one of those are going to elicit a emotional reaction from me, it's always going to be the Magic Kingdom one, and it gets you every time. What are they pumping into the air that makes you teary-eyed every time they do a nighttime show there? I'm serious. It's like it's so like special.
It's true.
It's so weird.
Yeah, Happily Ever Afters are our favorite for sure. And
yeah.
I remember. So you remember when Ryan Robb was my intern, and when he was at school with the Worship Collective at Liberty, they were going down to Florida, and I told him, I said, hey, stick around for the nighttime show. And I remember he was like, I don't know, like a bunch of college kids are like, whatever. He kind of rolling his eyes at me. I told him, I said, seriously, just stick around. He called me the next day. He's like, that was the coolest thing I have ever seen. Because like all the tech and everything that goes into it, it's pretty fantastic.
It's an unbelievable show for sure. Yeah, I would say, I mean, you can, if I could only, I would just pick those two, Fantasmic and Happily Ever After, and be good. Even though the Epcot one's not bad by any means.
Sure.
But like I said before, we can get rid of Animal Kingdom totally. Even though I did hear that they're making an Indiana Jones ride. They're turning Dinosaur into like the Indiana Jones ride from out in California, which would thrill me to know.
That would be cool.
And be the only reason I would go to Animal Kingdom.
And riding Flight of Passage. You should ride it. It's cool.
Yeah,
No.
I think we need to at some point.
So, Jeremy, you've been here at New Life since 2018.
2017.
27. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
2017. It was the fall of 2017.
Yep.
Your first full year, obviously, was 2018.
Yes.
I was thinking when Pastor Warren came on staff.
Yes.
Not staff, but when he became our senior pastor.
Yeah.
Was beginning of 2018. But that's right. You came, was it October?
Yep. Just finished up my 8th year. So the first week in October of 2017 was my first Sunday leading.
Let's talk about your introduction to ministry and like your call into ministry. At what point in your life did you feel led to go to pursue ministry as a vocation?
So that happened when I was in college. I had started out as a psychology major. I was interested in counseling. I was interested in going into counseling, and I went through my freshman year. The classes went fine, but I got into a music ministry group over the summer and was on that tour. It was like a 6-week tour, a nice long tour during the summer, and just really God was just putting on my heart that pursuing that path just wasn't what he wanted for me. And just through a lot of prayer and talking to people, talking to some of the teachers as I switched what my major was at Geneva, just kind of felt the sense that God was calling me into ministry, and had a number of people that kind of helped confirm that for me, just in terms of people that have known me for a long time. Because when I went to Geneva, there was a lot of professors that knew me since I was a little kid and everything else, and so I had a lot of encouragement in that kind of right away, and it was good. It was that kind of sense of affirming that I needed, because I didn't really know much about what that was going to look like or anything else. So I was pretty nervous about that switch. But yeah, obviously this is what God was calling me to, and I'm thankful that he kind of got through to me on it.
So did you then? You kind of made that switch in college. Did you start pursuing vocational ministry right away, or how did that work?
So I switched my major to like pre-seminary. My intention was to go to seminary right after college. I had talked to a number of people, mostly students, that were saying, hey, if you don't go right away, you'll never go. And so they kind of scared me into going right away, if that makes sense. Because I'm like, well, I don't want to not do this.
Yeah.
But while I was talking to some seminaries and going through the admissions process, there was a seminary out in the Philadelphia area that I had applied to, and they recommended for all of their students, they said they'll accept people right out of college, but they really recommend that people get some life experience before they come back to seminary. So
Gotcha.
they said we'd love to have you, but they would love to see me get some life experience first. So I decided to put that on hold for a little bit. But I mean, I took all the opportunities I could while I was in school to kind of pursue ministry in whatever that looked like. But it wasn't until a number of years, or a few years anyway, after I graduated, that I really started pursuing ministry as it looks now for me.
Awesome. So with that first, once you got done with seminary, like when did you land your first role, like in a church? Like
after I got done with college?
With college, like your schooling and stuff.
Because seminary I didn't finish till I was
that's
here.
right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. After I finished college, I actually was working some different jobs before I got into ministry. I was working at an engineering place for a while and kind of did some other things. And it wasn't until my dad passed away. And he was always my biggest encourager in getting into ministry. Once he heard that I was going to be a pastor, he was so excited for me. Would always ask me, like pretty much every time he talked to me or saw me, "Hey, when are you going to become a pastor? When are you going to become a pastor?" And I kept delaying it, but when he passed, it kind of just jump started that in me again. Then it was like, oh, you know what? God had called me to this, and I've kind of lost track of it.
Yeah.
And not long after that, Pastor Warren had reached out to me about a position at the church where he was before this, and I came in and auditioned for it or applied for it, didn't get it, and but he decided to kind of take me in as an intern to help me get started in ministry. So it was kind of a combination of a couple things, but I certainly owe a lot of that to Pastor Warren, because he really helped me get started in it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's cool.
So so why worship specifically? Like, why worship ministry?
Yeah.
And when we say worship ministry, obviously we're talking about in like the the sense of, because worship is so, like we've talked about, it's multifaceted. Like worship is everything that we do to honor God.
Sure.
So like you pursue the music side of worship.
Sure.
Right. What led you to?
Yeah. So that was another thing. Honestly, I probably in some ways owe to Pastor Warren, because like even though when I was in college I studied music and Bible, I did kind of finish a double major because those are the two things I was passionate about and interested in. I didn't grow up in a church that had a worship pastor, so I had no idea that was even an option. And I remember people when I was in college asking me what I was going to do, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to do. Not what you want to be worrying about when you're a senior and you have no plan. But that there was people suggesting, hey, you ever thought about being a worship pastor? And at the time I was like, no, I don't really. I just thought that was like for huge churches that, you know what I mean? Because
Sure.
yeah. And so even though I was interested in that, passionate about those two subjects, I didn't really think about doing the worship pastor route until Pastor Warren kind of reached out to me. And once I came in and worked with him and saw what it was and saw what he did, I was just, it was immediately, I felt the sense of like, okay, this is what I need to be doing.
Gotcha.
So
that's cool to have that confirmation, though. I mean, it's kind of neat that you guys have had that ongoing relationship
sure.
through all those years of ministry. So like, I mean, obviously this is like almost a family thing for you guys, because it's not just you that's like musically inclined. Your wife and
Sure.
your children are pretty much
Sure.
all musically inclined. Like, I mean, that says a lot, obviously, about like what you guys instill in your kids, and like the passion that, that is consistent, not just here but at home.
Yeah.
As well. I don't really have anything to follow up on that. I just thought that was kind of a neat thing.
Well, I know I had just real quick funny story about that. Like, because obviously we love music, and my kids grew up listening to music, and particularly grew up listening to worship music, because whether it was me practicing or just, something that we were listening to because we just wanted to listen to it. But I was leading worship at a church plant in Boardman back when I was first getting started, and they were doing stuff with the kids, and like they had our kids, and the pastor's wife was the one who was leading the kids stuff there, and she pulled us aside one day, and she's like, "Do your kids not know any music other than worship songs?" Because she's like, they don't know any little kids songs, because they're trying to do like the typical little kid stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, they kind of just listened to what we listened to,
sure.
And they knew worship songs, they just didn't know those little kids ones. So it was just funny.
That is interesting.
I guess that's the life of being a child of a worship pastor, I guess.
Well, you've been in this role for 8 years.
Yep.
You've done a lot of hard work to cultivate a team and stuff over those years, myself included on that team, and enjoy being that. What does the process look like? Like when you're looking at like planning for Sunday morning worship experience.
Sure.
What is your process of picking the songs that are going to be sung corporately?
Yeah, so there's a lot that goes into that. Obviously we pray about this, and it's not just me that picks it. I involve other people in the process whenever possible. If there's somebody else that's leading, or a lot of times my wife will be involved with the process as well. And but we pray about it. If we know what the message is going to be on, we'll try to shape the worship set that way to kind of go along with it. We don't always know ahead of time, so sometimes we're just kind of picking sets that we feel will flow well and get people prepared to hear the message. But when we're picking songs in general, we're looking for a mix of things, but we're always trying to stay grounded in songs that are us either singing about or singing to God. There's a lot of worship songs out there that are very inward focused, very me focused, and we do mix in some of those, but we're always mindful of how much, because we don't want that to be the majority of our song repertoire, for sure.
And that's definitely something that I want to discuss here on the podcast a little bit. We don't need to get into that right this second. Sure. But okay, let's talk about then. So in the song selection, you're talking about like the things that you are looking for within a song. Is there like what are the elements that you are looking for like within a worship song that are going to like qualify it as like this is something that we can sing together?
Yeah, I mean the first step for me is I'm going to look at the lyrics of the song, and just to make sure that theologically it's something that we agree with, and that I want people to sing in the sense of that I feel represents what the Bible teaches, because there's a lot of people are going to learn their theology most through the music that we do.
Sure.
Because it's set with a melody. I mean, it's a valid way to try to learn and remember things, is to set them to music. So I recognize the weight and the seriousness of the theology that goes into the songs that we pick. And so that's the first step. But then we do tend to lean on stuff that's more accessible for people, in the sense of both melodically and in the lyrics. We want things that people can kind of grab onto right away and sing, rather than something that's going to take work to be able to either understand it or to be able to sing along with it. Because we want people to participate. If we're just up there singing and they're not, then it's just a concert, and that's not what we're looking for.
Yeah, I think that's one of the worst things that we see a lot of bigger churches that get into. It's like, this is like a concert, and like people are just spectators during it. We desire like to have like everyone. It's our opportunity to worship God together. I know that's like one of the things that you really emphasize with your team.
Yes,
is like we're not up there to like, we're not putting on a show or anything.
Sure.
We are we are serving the congregation and worshiping along with them, not for them.
Yeah.
So, and
it's a balancing act, because I know, like, I've heard people, and I know that they're well-meaning, but they talk about leading worship as like they're just singing to an audience of one, like it's just them and God, and it's like, okay, I get the heart behind that, and there's good that comes with that, and not trying to put on a show for people, but it is our job to engage the people that we're leading, and so like that is our goal anyway. We don't always do it perfectly, but the reality is we're all singing to that same audience, if you will. We're all singing to God, but if we're not all doing it together, then we're missing part of what our responsibility is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You're talking about the music that you will select and how you go about selecting the appropriate things for corporate worship. That means like we're worshiping together as the church. Like, what should we be avoiding, both in corporate worship and in, even like in our own personal time, in our personal time of worship? What should we be looking out for? Like, what would your best advice be? Because I mean, there's so much music out there today.
Sure.
And like, I mean, K-Love is filling people's heads with sometimes all kinds of.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Well, there's a couple things with that. So everybody that's writing these songs, everybody's coming from different theological traditions and backgrounds and all that sort of thing. So you want to be careful what you're learning in the song. So it's important to just know if you're going to worship with something, know that we need to know that it's talking about the God of the Bible, like, which you'd hope that they all would, but some of these songs are pretty vague, and some of them are kind of more spiritual and less focused on, Yahweh, on the God of the Bible, so like so you kind of have to just be aware of that. As far as corporate worship, we're trying to find songs that fit that role. There's songs that I'll worship with at home that I would never bring in as a corporate worship song, because I just don't think it fits. Whether it's not accessible enough either with this meaning or with the melody, and or if it's just something that is more of a personal cry out to God rather than something that we would all sing together. Not that there's a time for songs of lament if you look through the book of Psalms, so I'm not saying that there's not, but we don't do a lot of that in worship, because it's awkward in a corporate setting if you're doing it all the time. So yeah, I guess just kind of paying attention to what the heart of the song is and what the song is actually saying, because there's a lot of good music out there, but there's a lot of music that either doesn't say much at all or says stuff that's kind of questionable.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing that I've noticed. My scope of like Christian music and worship music has kind of been limited over, like, I mean, I started listening to really Christian music in like 2007, 2008, like basically when I became worship leader for the teen ministry is like my first introduction. And I didn't know the difference between anything. Like, I couldn't figure out like, what was good and what wasn't good. So, I mean, my frame of reference was very limited, which can be kind of a dangerous thing. Like, I was like, and I found it was like a lot of the Passion music, even back then, that was like Chris Tomlin, David Crowder, I think Charlie Hall, is that Christy Nockels? Yep. Is Charlie Hall one of them?
Yeah, he was.
Like, I felt like their stuff was pretty good, but I like in at that time it felt like worship music was more, God-centered and God-focused.
Sure.
Like putting God where he deserves to be. Not that saying it was like perfect
No.
by any means. I don't know, like, I mean, what you guys' experience was with worship music. I mean, it was all fresh to me.
Sure.
It feels like over the past, I don't know, like 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
that worship music, or what we call worship music,
Sure.
has taken like a hard left turn. And it's become, like you were talking about, there's been like a lot more of like the me-focused
Sure.
kind of worship, like what God, like all the things that I want God to be doing for me.
Yeah.
Instead of that, and it, like, it completely derails us, because like you said, like these songs are set to a melodic thing, and so it does capture our hearts and our minds.
Sure.
And it takes us away from what's most important.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I think too, we try to stress that to the students a lot, that be mindful of what you take in.
Yeah. For sure.
Songs, but other things too as well. You know, whatever you're absorbing, like that is affecting your mind. And we talked specifically on Sunday about worship being a lifestyle, not just like the few songs you might sing on Sunday. So maybe that's a good question for both of you. Worship outside of the scope of just music, like what does worship as a lifestyle look like for you guys, or what should it look like for a Christian?
I think the better, yeah. What should it look like?
Yeah. What should it look
What does
like?
it
Yeah.
actually look like? Well, I mean, okay. Well, I'll answer, and
Sure.
you can answer, but I want you to answer too, because I feel like,
Okay.
I mean, I observe you at home, and I would say, like, if one of us, between the two of us, is actually meeting what God is calling us to, it's probably you so more than me. But go ahead, Jeremy. I'll let the guest be. Jeremy, how are you so good at worshiping
Yeah.
God everywhere and everything that you do?
Well, to clarify too, like when the Bible talks about worship, there's a couple different context that comes in. So one is worship, like what we do on Sundays. Like one is, and there's examples of that all throughout Scripture where they gathered together to do an intentional act of worship together, which is what Sunday is. But the Bible also uses worship to describe just the general posture of our lives in relation to God. And so, I know we talked about Romans 12. I know you guys have that on your worship as a lifestyle thing, that our spiritual act of worship, and I'm forgetting the verse at the moment,
be a living sacrifice.
Yes, yeah, offer your bodies as a living sacrifice. This is your spiritual act of worship. Yes, thank you. And so I think there's a sense in which our whole life is to be pointing people to Jesus by the things we say, by the things we do. If we're following what Christ taught, then our lives are going to be, we will have that lifestyle of worship. Our entire life can be an act of worship. Whether you're at school, whether you're at work, whatever you're doing, it can be an act of worship if we're doing it for God and doing it with the express purpose of pointing people to Jesus.
Yeah. I think that's, the whole idea of living sacrificially and that being the truest worship is like meaning that, I think, I always teach it as Paul is like referring back to the Great Commandment, right? Like the idea is that I put God above everything else and I put people above myself.
Sure.
And then I am truly worshiping God as he desires for me to be. And I would say that I am a miserable failure at that almost every single day.
I think we all fall short because we're all sinners. You know what I mean? And none of us are going to measure up to what, true holiness would look like. But I think, so the paraphrase of that Romans 12 passage is like taking your everyday walking around, eating, sleeping, going to work life and presenting it to God as an offering. So basically daily you have an offering to give to God. And it is, what did I do with my day? What did I, in my words and my thoughts and my actions? That was my offering to God. And like, was he pleased with that offering?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you kind of run it through that filter of like, and again, we all fall short. Nobody's going to do this perfect. But if you're like just struggling with like, is this is what I'm doing pleasing to the Lord? You know what I mean? Like run it through that filter of like, was that God honoring? Not like, did that person like that thing that I just did, or should I have said it in that way? More like, was that honoring to God? You know what I mean? Like, so sometimes I just kind of helps keep me in check a little bit. Like that's my filter. I run it through. Like this is my offering. Was this a good offering to God today, or did I, present a mess? And sometimes I present a mess. Yeah, and thankfully His grace covers all that. But I don't think any of us do it perfectly. But I think it is a good just reminder, like daily, like this is like He gave us today, and what are we giving back to Him with our day? So
yeah, and I appreciate the intentionality about taking the time to examine that. I feel like that's such an important first step in being able to recognize, hey, where are the areas of my life that what I'm offering to God might not be so great. And even if it's not something that's directly, overtly, obviously sin, but whether it's just wasting time or whether it's just doing stuff for myself instead of, you know what I mean? Not that we can't do things to take care of ourselves, but I just mean if everything is self-centered, if everything is me focused, then that becomes a problem.
Yeah, I mean that's where the enemy really gets his foothold in, is when we start elevating ourselves and our needs and our desires above everything else, and that's how Satan pulls us away from worshiping God, and we're taught. I mean, the world it teaches us constantly that the world revolves around you, right? I mean, that's kind of like the enemy's greatest lie, is that your life is yours, and you need to focus in on you as much as you can, which is a very innocent and morally gray way of pulling you slowly away from God and like being able to hear Him and listen to Him, because it's hard. I'll say this from personal experience. I'm sure maybe you guys can say the same thing. Once I get into my own mind and my own needs and my own problems, I have a very hard time of breaking away from that, and breaking out and start actually looking to other people and seeing their needs and their problems, and definitely not going to God with my problems. And honoring Him and like thanking Him, like practicing gratitude. Like it all goes out the window. And this is how the enemy wins these little battles every single day. Like obviously he knows he doesn't hold victory in the long run, and so he has to get all these little battles in, because it's tearing us down. So it is every single day. I used the example a couple times with the students, and when Tim was on a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was talking about one of his mentors. He was like in his late 80s. And he was a former pastor and stuff. And he was saying that every single day he wakes up, and he said the first thing he does is that he prays and asks God, what do you want me to focus on for you and for your kingdom? Yeah. And then he just goes and does it. That's it. Like he does whatever he can to and then he said, he always calls Tim and he's like, you would not believe what God did today. And it's like he's got this joy. And he's experiencing real joy, like this joy that's like elusive to so many of us who think like, oh, I need to focus in on me and what I want for me to be happy. And it's the lie. It's the greatest lie. And we're sold this, and we consume this idea that if I'm happy, then I'll find joy. And they are not mutually exclusive. Is that the right terminology?
Well, and they're not synonymous either.
They're not synonymous.
The same thing. So
I know words and how they work together in phrasing. I don't.
But to circle back real quick, that's part of the reason when we talked about the songs that we listen to, the worship songs that we engage in, and the things the things that are so experiential and so focused in on how we feel. If we only have that, it becomes a problem. Even if just comparing it to the book of Psalms, where there is the whole range of human emotion in there, they always turn it back to God. And so that'd be like another thing I guess I would say, add to that discussion we had earlier when you're asking about the music and what to look out for. It's just making sure that we're filling ourselves with songs that do turn it back to God, that it's not just about us and how we feel, because it can feed that idea that we are the most important part of this relationship, and that's just not the case.
And there's a lot of music out there. I mean, it's not even like you don't have to look hard to find this kind of music. I mean, honestly, a lot of Christian radio stations are just pumping out feel good music.
Sure.
And so you got to be really mindful.
Sure.
Like, think about the words that are being said. Is this really honoring God?
Sure.
Or is it just like there's way too many like of these like.
And I'm not even saying that you have to. We need to avoid that music altogether. But it's like if that's all you have, that's a problem. Even if that's the majority of what you have, it can become a problem.
I think sometimes it can send the message too that like everything's just great and grand all the time.
Yeah.
Too, and that's my concern.
Sure.
Sometimes with a lot of like CCM, like contemporary Christian music, is like it's like you got this idea that life is always amazing, and it's like no, it's not. It's not. Sometimes it's a real challenge, and God's there, and I feel like that's where a lot like the good worship music really helps us, sit and almost wrestle with it. It's like things are complicated, but but God is present. Like God is going to be my joy in this pain. Thank you, God. Like, and I think that's some of the best worship music is like it presents a heart of gratitude back to God for what He's done.
Yep.
Not this like I don't know. I just have a problem with so much modern Christian music. It's so rough anymore. I'm sorry. I'll be the first one to say I struggle to find like Christian music in general. That I really like, and not just like, but like believe that what's being said is honest. Like really, really honest. That's coming from a pastor. I don't know if I should say that, but it's the truth. It's like there's very few like Christian artists that I'm like I genuinely believe where they're coming from. It's not just like manufactured and getting pumped out there because I feel like that's like, the Christian music industry is a music industry.
I was just going to say that. Yeah,
and like it's so like they're not. It's not nonprofit.
Right. Like
it's for profit, and so they're just going to pump stuff out there that like tickles the ear, just like secular radio. So you still have. I'm not saying don't listen to Christian music.
Right.
I'm saying be mindful of what you consume.
Right. And and you and I have talked about this before, but it's also helpful to focus in on groups that are part of a church community that are writing their worship music for a community of people because they're part of a church. They're part of an organization that is helping keep their theology in line with what the Bible teaches. Even I know some of those traditions differ than our church. They're different than our church, but that's okay. But it's just I would prefer to lean towards the groups that are part of a church and writing music for the church.
That's my first and foremost.
Yeah,
always.
And if something sounds questionable in a song, look it up or ask a pastor, or you know what I mean, like see if it actually lines up with God's word. Because when I was young in my faith, everything sounded good. Every song I heard, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Like, because I didn't know any better. You know what I mean? Like, it all sounded good, and I assumed it was all like pointing to God and biblical, and like maybe parts of it are. But then, like, the more I knew my Bible, the more I'm like, I'm not sure if that's the exact. Does that line up exactly? And it causes me to go look it up. You know, so. If something sounds a little off, take the extra minute to look it up. You know what I mean? I think that's how part of growing in our faith too is.
Like be extra mindful of what you're taking in, because I'll say this, I don't think that people are intentionally trying to mislead.
No, I don't think so.
I just think they're like I think some of the Christian traditions and denominations are more emotionally driven. And the music that comes out of those churches reflect that. And so you have to be very cautious because once you've had this emotional reaction to something, it's like, then this must be real. Not necessarily. And so you have to be very, very careful about that. And I'm not going to knock any denominations or anything. But also be mindful. But even if the church lines up with your denominational, like, still do your background research.
Absolutely.
Understand where it's coming from. Because, I mean, there's, like, it's all over the map. And it's too hard to say. We're not going to, like, start knocking names and saying, don't listen to this church.
Right.
And don't listen to that church. Because, like, but you still have to be very, very cautious about what you're consuming, and then look at the lifestyle sometime of those who are writing it. It's like, does what's being written here actually reflect the heart of that individual?
Sure.
Because I think sometimes we'll be surprised by what's going on.
Sure.
There, because I mean, like some of the stuff that's even come out more recently within the realm of Christian music has been just kind of shocking and sad.
Yeah.
Where it's like these big name individuals, are like singing the praises of the Lord.
Sure.
And are having and that's, it could be said about anything, but it's like there's these horrible things going on behind the scenes.
Sure.
So like saying all that to say, we have to be careful about what we're consuming.
Sure.
No matter what.
And I always like to, when I'm going to introduce a song here, when I find a new worship song, a lot of times I like to go find, because most of the time you can find it with, or at least with a lot of the bigger songs, the artists themselves kind of telling the heart behind it, the story behind how kind of that song came together, or how God gave them the pieces of that song. And that's, for me, that's helpful to get the context of what they're saying and what they're after with it.
Absolutely.
So the more that we can be engaged with that kind of content as well, to be able to understand the heart behind it is probably good. I know there's only so many hours in the day, but still.
Yeah, but it's like, I like the intentionality of some churches and some artists, and some, like, I don't know, like labels and stuff. They they're very out there, and they're going to talk. I mean, we've talked about Passion a lot, but like they are very forward about who they are and why they do what they do. Now, 3 of us have all been to their conference too.
Yeah.
How are we indoctrinated a little bit? I don't know. but it seems genuine.
Yeah.
Well, and we keep enough of a mix in what we consume and what we listen to that's not the only thing we take in. So, like, I think we can still look and listen with a discerning, mindset. So I don't think it's necessarily like everything they do is great. I think it's like when you do find one that is good, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because even though, I mean, I know some of those churches are big, and people tend to be kind of leery of bigger churches, but part of me, maybe the optimist in me, has to believe that there's some churches out there that are doing things right, even if they're a big church. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's like I know you can't believe, like you said, you can't believe just everything that comes out of there, but it's like there are churches out there that I believe they're following Jesus, even and
they're
like,
huge.
Yeah, even though it's a big church. I know sometimes it can be challenging in a big church to stay focused on Jesus, but I think there's people out there doing it.
No, for sure. I mean, we listen to like Southeast Christian every single week. I know you've listened to it as well. Like, I feel like that's one of those churches. Not that they have necessarily a worship team that is out there producing music. They have produced some. Yeah. But there's a genuineness to what they're doing all the time. And there's other churches like that. So I fully agree with you that some large churches are not pulling the wool over people's
Correct.
eyes.
Yeah.
That we just have to be mindful. And and even if it is we'll talk endlessly about like what like a church like Southeast Christian's doing at their size. Sure. But that doesn't mean that we still shouldn't be questioning teachings or,
of course,
or things that they're even putting out. I remember Sarah and I were watching a series that they were doing. What was that, back at the beginning of the year? And it was like they did I think it was like an Esther series, and they were using like AI imaging for like they were like, this and this actor plays this part. I'm like, I can't believe they're doing this. It was like Jeff Goldblum is Mordecai. I'm like, and they're showing like an image of it. I'm like, this is so weird.
That is weird.
Not everything is.
Yeah.
Chew up the meat and spit out the.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is like, even if you have the highest opinion of something,
for sure,
still, like you just said, chew up the meat, spit out the bones. Yep. Nobody's ever going to be perfect. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of garbage out there. Yeah. And so you do have to sift through that. Yeah, and you have to weigh it against Scripture, and the only way you can do that is by knowing Scripture. I mean, so I guess that's part of the challenge here is getting in the Word. I mean, that's that Romans passage we talked about. It talks about being transformed by the renewing of your mind. So it's like that's part of our
part of our responsibility is to know God's word so that we can compare, whether it's songs or speakers or whatever we come in contact with, stuff from our culture. We'll actually know whether or not it matches up with what the Bible says.
It's the only way. Yeah, we're like the passage says, you're going to conform to something.
Yep.
So conform to what your mind has been renewed by. That is Christ Jesus our Lord. Like, I mean, I know that's a weird paraphrase that I just did,
Yeah.
but that's the heart of it. Is
Yeah.
you're going to always conform to something. So conform to what is truly good and right and noble, not what this world wants. And you can't have one foot in the door and one foot out, thinking that this is going to satisfy. God's not satisfied with our half-hearted
Sure.
attempts at worship. Like
Sure.
he wants us to be all in.
Yep.
Not that he wants us to be all out, but I like he doesn't respect the person that's half out. Like,
Right.
He wants
And
us to be fully consumed by.
sometimes,
him.
I mean, look, I don't have a Bible verse to back this up, but what I've seen in my life is the people that are all out tend to be in some ways closer to being all in than the people who have found a comfort level with being halfway in. Yeah.
Yes, I understand exactly what you're saying. Like that kind of lukewarm. Like I have just enough of Jesus to
Yep.
call me a Christian, but am I like giving my life over to Him and
Yeah.
really trying to allow Him to shape and mold me? That's outside of my comfort zone. Yes, I feel like that's a very dangerous place to live. You know what I mean? To assume, yeah, I'm a Christian. I accepted Jesus. I mean.
Yeah.
But that's the extent of their walk with Him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
It's so much
yes,
worse. 'Cause
yeah.
It's a false sense of security.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a part of what I was getting at by that. It's like the person who's all out, they don't know that they need Jesus, but they don't think they have him. And so like the
Yeah.
people that are halfway in, like I don't know, that's a tough place. That's a tough place to be.
That's
Yeah.
that's why we want you guys to, that's why we want to give every student the opportunity to understand like this life as a believer is not a like half-hearted attempt.
Yeah.
God understands that we all grow at different speeds, and He's gracious and like
Yeah.
He's and God is patient beyond all measure.
For sure.
But still, like if we're like half in because we still want the comforts of what once was,
Yeah.
we're better to be all out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we've just given ourselves a false idea of what this life is supposed to be.
And I think that's why the Bible speaks to that, saying like either be all in or all out. Because I don't think that the Bible's ever going to encourage anybody to be all out, but it's just like
No.
recognize where you actually are.
Yep.
right.
Absolutely. Well, we are at the 1 hour mark.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're going long. Huh? I don't even know how long we're supposed to do this.
Half
Don't
hour.
worry, some of that's coming out. So.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of editing
Okay.
to do on this one. Like what we just said.
You're
now.
welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Yeah.
No, Jeremy, thank you so much for being on. We need to have you back.
Oh, for
There'll be
sure.
another
Yes.
episode to have you back, and I think you'll know exactly what you're getting yourself into.
Sort of. I'm never gonna come in expecting that you won't throw something at me. I mean, that's
How
It's probably a
dare
good,
Yeah.
good mindset to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw a curveball. Well, I feel good.
We've been friends long enough. I know you're not gonna let me
this
just
is
have it.
almost a good episode. So that is our episode. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us again, man. Like, thank you for your insight. Well, like I said, we'll have to have you back and talk more about worship and any other topic.
Sure.
we want to venture into. No more Disney World, though.
That's fine.
I think we did a lot of Disney World talk.
Probably too
at the
much.
Top of the hour.
Probably too much.
No, never too much Disney World talk.
Well, thank you for letting me be a part of it. I appreciate getting to come and be a part.
Yeah, man. No, it's great having you. All right. Well, for Sarah, I'm Steve. It's been great being with you. If you heard that, that's Pete, and he's happy to see you too. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.